When we're on an inner work journey or working to release chronic dis-ease, we need healing and growth. If we don't have both, we either spin or we stall. Before we dive in, I'm Samantha Mackay, chronic illness mentor, Enneagram practitioner, and healing coach at the Individual Process. I unpack what it means to heal and grow in this modern world, especially with chronic illness, in a culture that in its own way promotes illness and dis-ease over sustainable healing and growth. Okay, so spinning versus stalling. Let me give you an example, but before I do, a reminder about what growth and healing are. Growth is increasing our capacity to stay with discomfort, and healing is tending to the unmet needs and emotional wounds that sit underneath. Now, for our example, let's use therapy and coaching, but the principle applies to any modality. In general, therapy is focused on healing. It's taking time to build a relationship in which you feel safe to explore your deeper wounds and hurts, start to see them with self-compassion. At times, though, a therapist also needs to stretch or challenge you just a little and within the safety of that relationship. When they do, you increase your capacity to stay with a little more discomfort, which opens up new layers of wounds and emotions that are waiting to be healed. When a therapist, for whatever reason, can't provide the stretch, eventually you'll start to spin, going over the same ground again and again without gaining any more depth or insight. And if that feels like you might need some growth work. Now for coaching. Coaching is mostly focused on growth, on stretching someone to push beyond their limits to achieve their goals and vision. It's less focused on healing and more on behavioral change and creating a new future. But there's a reason someone hasn't achieved a goal or a vision yet. And when that sticky or sensitive issue arises, some healing is needed. If we skip the healing, we unconsciously self-sabotage and blame either ourselves or the coach. That's stalling. And if that sounds like you might need a little healing to get back on track. And for me, that's why I like the counterintuitive approach to coaching. It recognizes that both healing and growth are required and focuses on finding the right balance for each conversation and each situation. This approach recognizes that sometimes we need more inner emotional connection release and sometimes we need more stretch, and that no one session or discussion is the same, that we are always changing and adapting to whatever life sends our way. Whatever your current healing or inner work is, if you feel like you're spinning or stalling, consider how you might bring more of what you need into the mix.